Hey love bugs, welcome to LoveGrind. I'm Ebony, your host. Tonight we're going to talk about the ego and the ache. Do I hate my ex or just the rejection? A lot of us tend to say we hate our exes and want to make them disappear, but a lot of the times it's really not hate, it's hate that they don't want you any longer. So let's talk about it. That burning, itchy feeling in your chest when you say the words, I hate my ex. But let's be real for a second. Is it hate? Or is it the fact that they withdrew the one thing that made you feel chosen? Tonight, we're dissecting the difference between losing a person and losing your sense of worth through rejection. I hate you, but I don't? Well, that describes a common, confusing conflict where you feel anger or hurt for someone's actions, but can't fully let go. Or maybe you genuinely hate them because of underlying care, shared history, or attachment, often seen in toxic relationships or breakups, where love and hate mix, leading to emotional turmoil and the inability to move on. I heard that. From the Greater Good Science Center, we have something called the addiction factor. When we look at photos of an ex, it triggers the brain's reward system, kind of like cocaine withdrawal, causing emotional looping and compulsive behaviors like social media stalking. And then we have the hate mask. That's when we analyze why we use hate as a shield. It's easier to be angry than to be sad. Hate is high energy. It feels powerful. A person generally hates you for 3 reasons. These are the 3 general reasons why somebody might hate you, including your ex. They want to be you. They admire or convey something you have, like success, looks, personality, opportunities, and express that longing as hate. Number 2, they hate themselves. Their own feelings of inadequacy make them lash out at others they perceive as better, projecting their inner turmoil outwards. And number 3, they see you as a threat. You might challenge their position, beliefs, or sense of control, making them feel insecure and threatened by your presence or potential, or even risk their new relationship. But it's a universal struggle, love bugs. Approximately 85% of people will experience at least one significant breakup in their lifetime, with nearly 60% of adults under 30 having faced one recently. Wow, that's a lot of heartbreak. Admitting you miss them feels weak. Admitting you want them to want you feels like a defeat, and they just think you're pathetic. But deep down, you really want them to want you at some point, right? I remember looking at my phone, seeing photos of us and feeling a surge of anger, sorrow, and longing. But when I sat with it, those emotions were just a cover for the fact that I wasn't the person getting their goodnight texts anymore, or their goodnight sex anymore. Just being honest. Let's talk about the lie we tell our friends. We tell them, I hate my ex. They're a liar. Or I hate them because they're selfish. But late at night, when the room is quiet and you're all alone, the truth is much smaller and much more painful. You hate that they don't want you anymore. Specifically, you hate that they don't want to be intimate with you. And I'm not just talking about sex, though that's a huge part of the rejection. I'm talking about the intimacy of being, the first person they call. The intimacy of being the only one who knows how they take their coffee or what they're afraid of. Oh, that hurt so bad. That hurt me so bad at one point, just knowing all these other people got to be in his life, even the cashier, the doctor, the pharmacist, and I could not. And it just made me hurt so bad inside. It turned into a lot of jealousy also. When a relationship ends, there's this thing called intimacy gap. It's a literal void in your life. You have all this love, all this physical energy, and all of these secrets stored up with that person. And suddenly, the person who used to hold them has closed the door and shoved secrets out and anything about you, and it hurts. So intimacy gap is when someone stops wanting you intimately. It feels like a physical rejection of your entire being. The 65% rule, research suggests that relationships often reach a critical threshold for dissolution. when overall satisfaction drops below 65%, marking a point where the grind to stay together often starts to fail, and you can't pull them back once it reaches that threshold. Intimacy is the ultimate validation. When an ex cuts that off, it feels like they've seen the most real version of you and decided it's not enough. Claim your intimacy power. It belongs to you, not the person who's away, right? And why does that rejection feel like a physical wound? In our heads, we view intimacy as a reward. We think, well, if I'm pretty enough and if I'm handsome enough or smart enough, kind enough, I earn the right to be touched and known. So when an ex stops wanting that intimacy, brain processes it as I'm no longer good enough to be loved. That's not true, but for a while you do think that, you do believe that. Then there's something called the phantom limb of a relationship, right? You reach for intimacy that used to be there, and the emptiness is what actually causes the pain, not the person themselves. Emotional phantom limb pain describes missing a toxic relationship as if a part of oneself is gone, highlighting deep psychological attachment and loss. The core relationship is how the brain adapts to loss, causing physical phantom sensations, and how people from deep, sometimes unhealthy, emotional attachments feel like missing body parts after the attachment ends. You feel like you're missing something. Your body scientifically synchronizes with the other person if you're together in a long-term relationship. And once that break happens, your body is out of whack, wondering, well, what's going on? And that is also something very hard to deal with during a breakup. Not just the mental, but actual physical synchronization that your body has made. Let's define rejection. Rejection tells you about compatibility, not value. We take rejection personally. It's a chemical and emotional alignment. Studies show that social rejection activates the same regions of the brain as physical pain, like a severe burn. When you say it hurts, your brain literally can't tell the differences between a broken heart and a broken arm. So how do we cope, love bugs? Well, we need to acknowledge the pain and rejection. It's real. Rejection from a breakup feels physically painful and can trigger obsessive thinking, similar to drug withdrawal, because humans need connection, right? We can validate our feelings. Allow yourself to feel sad, angry, or rejected without judgment. Crying and sharing with trusted people helps release that pain. It can help you see a little clearly. Take that person off the pedestal, right? No contact. Stop stalking, calling, or checking their social media. This helps close the chapter. Accept reality. Understand it is not a movie. Your partner is gone, and expecting them back can prolong suffering. It definitely can. You're keeping hope alive for something that is gone. Some people do get back together, and some don't. Everybody's love story is different. We can also build self-worth. Focus on rebuilding your identity and sense of belonging outside the relationship through friends, family, or new activities. You can also reframe the loss. See it as a chance for self-discovery and a path to a healthier future. And to healthier future relationships, not just an ending. If you keep living in that rhetoric, you'll always be the girl who got broke up with, or the guy. Stop living in that rhetoric. It happened. It's time to move on and write a new story. But I want you to hear me on this, guys. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of their capacity. Think about that for a second. Them not wanting to be intimate with you doesn't mean you've lost your magic. It means the connection between the two of you has changed. You're still the same masterpiece. They just aren't the audience for it anymore. So when you say I hate them, what you're really saying is, it hurts that I am no longer the person who gets to be close to them. And that's not hate, that's grief. And until you call it grief, you can't start the grind of getting past it. So instead of using hate, you're grieving, right? If you're listening to this and you're in that ooh, I hate them phase. Take a breath and ask yourself, do I hate them or do I just miss being seen? And it's okay to miss being seen, but don't let their lack of vision become your lack of value. The grind isn't just about moving on. It's about growing through the parts of yourself that feel broken. I'm your host, Ebony, and this is LoveGrind. Please make all the decisions you can this week with your heart. And until next time, I'm out.